In the last segment, I introduced you to my NASA data. In this segment, we're going to be talking about how to navigate the Live Access server. Now, this website that we're taking you to right now, it features lesson plans for grades K through 12. Some of the activities are 50 minutes. Some of the activities are going to be 50 to 90 minutes. And you're even going to be able to find activities that will take you perhaps 2 or 3 days to use. They will be units, standalone units that you can use in your classroom. Really great to use after Easter break, spring break, things like that. There's even some standalone lessons if you want to use those. Now, the lesson that we're going to be talking about today is called Analyzing Solar Energy Graphs. Now, we've been hearing a lot about solar cells and things like that and various uses around the country. What we're going to be doing in this lesson is we're going to take a look at Sheridan, Wyoming. And there's a lot of houses and businesses in Sheridan that have solar cells. And we're going to take a look at how well that works for them. And then we're going to compare Sheridan, Wyoming with other cities across the country and see how they compare to each other. And the kids are going to be doing this in the classroom, making charts and graphs and things like that as they go through this particular unit. Some of the things that I want to show you really fast on this particular website, though, is a Live Access server. When you want to start your lesson, this is what you would click on. Or if you want to take a look at the satellites and everything that we're using, you can look at data sources right here. This talks about all the satellites that we have in orbit around the Earth, gives you visual pictures of them, and it also tells you what they are, what kind of data they're actually picking up for us. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how to navigate this. And remember, I said that we are using this for high school. We're going to focus in on high school. So when you click on the Live Access server, you have this little window that pops up here. Advanced, Intermediate, and Basic. Advanced is high school, intermediate, middle school, basic is elementary school. And for today's lesson, since it is high school based, we are going to go ahead and click on the Advanced button. Now that takes us to a site like this, and again at the top of this page of My NASA Data Home, you can see across the top Advanced, Intermediate, Basic. You can also click on these to get the various lessons for those particular grade levels. One of the things that we want to make sure that we are doing as we go through this is we have these buttons up at the top, and we want to make sure that we click on this radio button here that says Update the Plot. Now, what that does is allows all the changes that you are making to be incorporated or to show up in what it is, whatever it is that you're doing. And you want to make sure that all of your changes are shown. This little window will be the next thing that pops up right here. Now, for this lesson, you do want to click on atmospheric radiation. And then this site will come up, and you want to click on surface because we're taking a look at surface radiation. And then we're going to go all the way down, and we're going to click on monthly surface, all sky, shortwave, SW, downward flux, because we want to look at everything all over the sky, all over the surface of the Earth, and that's what this particular button is going to allow us to do. Then it's going to bring you to a screen that looks like this. Now, at the top of the page, under the title down there, make sure that the radio button is on, if you recall, on Update Plot. You want to make sure that that button is checked, and that will help to ensure that all of the changes are going to be showing up. Once you've clicked on the time series button under line plots on the left-hand side, there is a date range that's going to appear. Now, for the date range, make sure that you select a 10-year time period to allow you to view your plots. For example, you can select January 1994 through January 2004. Just keep in mind that any 10-year period, any complete 10-year period is going to work for this activity. Next, you're going to click on the Compare button from the top menu, and on the left-hand side of the screen, there is a triangle next to line plots. You're going to click on that triangle, and it will give you a drop-down menu. Click on the radio button next to time. Now, for this activity, you're going to want to enter the coordinates for Sheridan, Wyoming, which are 44 degrees north and 108 degrees west. You're going to be comparing that with a place in Alaska. Now, for your location in Alaska, you're going to be using the circle tool up at the top in order to select your location. So you will click on that circle tool, you will bring it down to a point in Alaska, and you will click it again, thereby dropping it on that particular city. And the coordinates for Alaska are going to appear in your graph there. Now, keep in mind that when entering the coordinates for a point, for a place, a single point is going to appear. So your north and south are going to be the same value, and your east and west are also going to be the same value. There's going to be 4 graphs that you can now play with, and you can change the locations. Now, for each plot, you're going to be able to use the circle tool at the top of the map and choose the location that you want. Again, using the circle tool, just click on it, bring it down to a place on the map, and then click again, and it will drop it in that location and bringing up your latitude and your longitude. You can click on a different place for all 4 points on the map in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, and then you can compare those particular places. There is an I information button down at the bottom of each of the graphs. If you click on that I button, it's going to bring up all the information that you entered for your graph. For example, your data set, your variable, your longitude, your latitude, so on and so forth. When you don't need to see that anymore and you want to get rid of it, all you have to do is click on the I again, and it will take it off your graph. I want to thank you very much for joining me and learning a little bit more about the Live Access Server. If you want to join me in the next segment, we're going to be talking about the problem itself and how you can use the information that I just gave you from the Live Access Server in order to solve the problem.